My own personal experience with abortion, and I don't think we talk about this enough, abortion can be another word for mercy.
Our country has failed us.
Well, I'm very excited about this daily cancellation. I finally get a chance to cancel Anne Hathaway. I've held a grudge against this woman ever since my wife, early in our marriage, forced me to go to the theater with her mom and her sister, to watch Les Miserables. It was the worst experience of my life. Every actor in the film was deeply and painfully annoying. None of them would stop singing at all. They sang the entire time from start to finish. Yet even amidst all of that, Anne Hathaway managed to be irritating and insufferable on a level that even Russell Crowe's blubbering off-key performance couldn't reach. A couple of years later, I went with much higher hopes to go see Interstellar. And there was Anne Hathaway again, helping to ruin the film with her cringy, saccharine speeches about the transcendent power of love. I wanted to see a movie about deep space exploration. I was hoping there'd be aliens. Instead, I got no aliens, only a little bit of space exploration, in exchange for a lot of scenes of Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain sulking and whining and giving corny sermons.
You son of a bitch.
The only thing that would have made it worse is if they started singing. But thankfully, they didn't. All that to say, this cancellation is a long time coming. Hathaway's appearance this week on The View has, I think, finally provided me the opportunity that I've been waiting for. Let's watch.
The Devil Wears Prada did turn 16 this summer.
Yes.
The time flies, boy. So you wrote this on Instagram, quote, "I am struck by the fact that the young female characters in this movie built their lives and careers in a country that honored their right to have choice over their own reproductive health. See you in the fight." So why did you write that? Why was it important to you to write something like that?
Because we're in the fight.
Yeah.
We're in the fight every day. We're in the fight every minute. And you mentioned The Devil Wears Prada turning sweet 16.
Yeah.
Some 16-year-old's life has been irrevocably changed because of the current overturning of Roe v. Wade. I think about it all the time. I think we all think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And what its implications are, and what it means to live in a country that puts us in this position.
Again.
Again.
Freaking again!
Yeah.
Again.
Here we go again.
This is not a moral conversation about abortion.
Right.
This is a practical conversation about women's rights. And by the way, human rights, because women's rights are human rights. And the freedom that we all need to be able to choose and build our lives and have access to excellent health care.
So let's try to sift through this. She says that it grieves her to consider that the young female characters in Devil Wears Prada would not be able to have abortions if the film was set in the current day. It is, to begin with, extremely strange to worry about the availability of abortion for fictional characters. Also, again, not having seen it, my impression is that the movie has a rather dim view of selfish, career-obsessed people. That's like the Devil Wears Prada. That's so part of the moral of the story, from what I understand, is that there's more to life than professional ambition. Yet Hathaway's takeaway is that women need to be able to kill their children so they can focus more on career advancement. There seems to be a little bit of a disconnect here. She also speaks about reproductive destiny, which of course is exactly the sort of asinine, hackneyed phrase you would expect Anne Hathaway to use when discussing abortion. It's not the sort of wording that I would ever choose. But since she brought it up, let us ask this question. Once a woman has conceived a child, what is her reproductive destiny? The word destiny implies a force outside of the individual, a message, a mission from beyond ourselves. So what is this force? Call it nature, call it the universe, call it, as I do, God. What is this force trying to say to the woman? What is her destiny now that she has conceived the child in her womb? Is it her destiny to partake in the joy and beauty and fulfillment of motherhood?
Good idea, oh Lord. Of course it's a good idea.
Or is it her destiny to pay some abortionist to kill her baby and throw his body into a medical waste dumpster? I would say the former. Indeed, how could it be anyone's reproductive destiny to reject their reproductive capacity and violently destroy the human life that they have reproduced? To call such a choice reproductive destiny seems bizarre, to say the least. Hathaway also claims that she's not interested in having a moral conversation about abortion, but rather a practical conversation about women's rights. Well, except that a conversation about rights is automatically a conversation about morality. You cannot extract the concept of morality from the concept of human rights. A practical conversation, a real practical conversation, is one that is not concerned with theories or ideas at all. But human rights are a theory. They are an idea. They're a moral idea. That isn't to say they don't exist, but rather that they exist in the moral realm. They don't exist physically, practically, like a chair or a rock or the ocean exists. So to say that you don't want to talk about morality, you just want to talk about human rights, that is to speak gibberish. Human rights are a moral concept. The minute you bring them up, you have entered into the moral realm. But that's not where Anne Hathaway wants to be, because she knows that she can't actually defend abortion on moral grounds. None of these people can. And that's the issue. But she had more to say, and it only gets dumber from here, so let's continue.
Without going into too many details, my own personal experience with abortion, and I don't think we talk about this enough, abortion can be another word for mercy.
What is she saying?
We know that no two pregnancies are alike, and it follows that no two lives are alike. That follows that no two conceptions are alike. So how can we have a law? How can we have a point of view on this that says we must treat everything the same? And where I come at it from is when you allow for choice, you allow for flexibility, which is what we need in order to be human.
Abortion is another word for mercy, she says. But mercy for whom?
Genocide.
Mercy.
Mercy for the child who's being killed? That's not mercy. The child has an entire life ahead of him. Or he should. You're taking that away. You're deciding for him that his life is not worth living. You're erasing all of his potential. All that could have been. There's no mercy in that. It's the opposite of mercy, because it's the opposite of empathy. And you can't have mercy without empathy. Or do you mean that it's merciful to the woman? Are you saying that killing a child is an act of mercy to the child's mother? Well, no, mercy to the mother is to help her, to give her the resources she needs. Mercy is what pregnancy centers provide. Mercy is their ministry. It's what they do. Abortion clinics, on the other hand, are vultures. They prey on fear and misery. They cash in on it. They feed off of it. They profit off of it. They sell guilt. They sell regret. They sell loneliness, while taking away the love and joy of motherhood. That's not mercy. It's mercenary. So whichever way Hathaway meant it, she's wrong. Though I'm not sure she knows how she meant it, because she's just babbling, which is what most defenses of abortion boil down to. Incoherent babble. And that is why Anne Hathaway is today, finally, after all these years, canceled.